Hey guys, 22 Plinkster here. In my hands, I have the relatively new Tippmann Arms M4-22 long rifle. But before I tell you some things about it, let me shoot it a few times. So here we go. Start off close. All right. All right, let's go across the creek. All right, my glasses are fogging up a little bit on me. All right, and the bolt does lock back on the last shot. So like I said, this is a relatively new firearm put out by Tippmann Arms. Now, it is basically an M4 clone, but it's in the 22 long rifle. Now, I'm a big fan of the 22 long rifle, of course, and now that the 22 LR is pretty much come back to the market, you know, for a long time, you couldn't find 22 ammo. Now, each and every place I go to, the shelves are full, so that means the prices have come down on it, and the 22 LR is now an affordable way to practice and also train if you own a M4 or an AR-15 type platform. Now, to date, there are several different ways that you can get that training in. And one of those ways is to buy something like this, an M4 clone chambered in 22 LR, because you can shoot each round for about 5 or 6 cents a piece, sometimes lower if you can buy in bulk. But there have been other options on the market as of past. Now, one of those options, of course, is the Smith & Wesson M4-22. Now, you've seen me do several videos about this particular firearm. It's a great little firearm. And also, you can buy stocks. Okay, this is a stock made by ATI that makes your Ruger 1022 seem like a M4 or an AR platform. Now, there are pros and cons to the stock here on the ATI. One, the functions are just like on a Ruger 1022. The safeties, the forward assist doesn't work, and the charging handle doesn't work, but it kind of feels like an AR, but the functions are not exactly the same. Your Smith & Wesson M4-22, it just feels light. It does not feel like a real M4 or an AR, which that could be good, that could be bad. But if you're looking for a training firearm, you want something that kind of feels and kind of has the same weight as an M4, which you would be shooting. Now the Tippmann right here, it looks and feels just like a real M4. It is light, but both receivers are aluminum. They are not polymer. Okay, it does come with flip-up sights. You have your charging handle where it needs to be. You have your bolt release where it needs to be here on the side. You have your shell deflector right here, so you're not getting smacked in the face if you are shooting left-handed. The grip, the bottom grip here, the pistol grip, you can change it out. The grip part here in the lower, it's kind of mil-spec, but it's kind of not. You can put a different mil-spec rear stock on here, and it does come with a different positioning rear stock. But like I said, you can put some mil-spec parts on it. Like if you have a mil-spec trigger, if you have an upgraded trigger that you want to drop in, say you have a particular one that you like on your AR-15 or M4, guess what? You can drop that same trigger in this setup. The trigger's not bad. The trigger's pretty light. It feels just like a mil-spec trigger, but what they did, since this is rimfire, they did put a lighter hammer spring in here, so you're not feeling that 5.5 pounds that you would usually on a mil-spec trigger. You're feeling close to about 3.5 pounds. The trigger is very, very good. I like the trigger. But like I said, you can put a mil-spec grip or stock or trigger in here. Now, you cannot take your 5.56 upper or a 300 blackout upper and put it on this lower. It's close, but it will not work, so I do not recommend it. Now, I got another magazine, I think, right here in my pocket. Now, what I'm shooting out of here is some standard Federal 36 grain, you know, champion ammunition. This is bulk ammunition. Now I have put, to this point, probably about 800 to 900 rounds through this rifle. And guess what? Not a single malfunction. Now that's what I kind of, you know, when I do these reviews, I try to see if a firearm is, one, if it's reliable, because if it's not reliable, I'm not going to recommend it. Two, is it somewhat accurate for what its made purposes are? Now this is not a match rifle by no means. They don't market it as a match rifle. They market it as just a good everyday plinker that you can take in the backyard and shoot tin cans with. You can take squirrel hunting, or it's a good trainer rifle. I see it more as a trainer rifle. But I can say I have not had one single malfunction. Now here in just a minute, I'm gonna try some velocitors. I'm gonna try some hyper velocity ammo through it. And then I'm gonna go straight into some standard velocity, firing at about 1,070 feet per second. So let's take a few more shots with it. And I kind of dig these flip-up sights. And they, like I said, these flip-up sights come standard on this setup. All right, go out to 100 yards. There we go. And the bolt stayed open. Now let's try some CCI velocitors. Now one good thing I can say about this rifle, along many other good things, is the magazine. They did not by no means make a cheap, inexpensive piece of junk magazine. These magazines are awesome. If you ever hold one in your hand, they're heavy. They are very, very well made, and they also have steel lips right here. So that's usually where you get the most wear on this particular kind of magazine, and it does very well. They have cycled 100% reliable for me. Now, let's see what these velocitors will do. These are a little bit hotter. All right, velocitors worked perfect. Now my point of aim did change a little bit, but that can be expected. Now, what I'm running here is some CCI standard velocity. And usually semi-automatic 22s, they can have a little bit trouble cycling standard velocity. All right, now these are gonna be much quieter. Go out to 100. All right, cycled the CCI standard velocity perfectly. Now, what you're probably thinking to yourself, yeah, it seems like a good training tool. Seems like a good plinker, but how accurate is it? I'm kind of wanting to know the same thing. So what I'm gonna do, let's go to the rifle range. Let me throw a Hawk scope on there. I'm gonna use a cool little adapter on that scope. That way you can see what I see. It's called the side shot. And we're going to do some group testings. We're going to use some standard velocity, some bulk ammo to see how it will group. And last but not least, let's give it the most benefit of the doubt. Let's throw a suppressor on here, and let's use some Federal Gold Medal Ultra Match just to see what this rifle is capable of doing. So let's go ahead to the range. I have a target set up downrange at 50 yards. Now we're going to do a little bit of accuracy testing because to me, only accurate rifles are interesting rifles, but I failed to mention earlier in the video, all the rifles are going to be shipped with flip-up sights, but the cool thing is you can actually get it in a package. There, on top of this setup, there's a Hawk 3x9x40. This is the Vantage. Now this scope is set up for 22 long rifle. You'll see here in just a minute with this side shot. Now, the numbers are going to be backwards because this throws a mirror image. So, but it does have a reticle in there from 50 yards all the way out to 200 yards. And they are lighted, so you can actually see on dark targets, which you're going to see here in just a minute. But if you want a scope with this setup, It's a great little setup. It will be available in a package. Now, the first ammo that we're going to try out is the Federal Champion 36 grain. I use this ammo for everything when it comes to plinking. Not necessarily it's the greatest for accuracy, but it is great for plinking. But if you're using some bulk ammo, this is what kind of groups that you can expect to get from this setup. So, all right, 50 yards. All right, I've got 4 touching and I had 1 flyer about an inch away. Could be the ammo, I don't know. Let's try some other kind of ammunition. Let's go next with the Federal Premium. This is the Hunter Match. This is a 40 grain bullet, so it may shoot 40 a little bit better. And I failed to mention that I do have my suppressor on this setup to give this rifle the best chance possible to show the tightest group. So let me reset the targets downrange and we'll try some of this Federal Hunter Match. I retrieved my target downrange. This is my 5-shot group. I've actually got 2 in this top hole, and there's 2 other ones right here. So this is 4 shots, and there is 1 flyer. So that's not too bad, but again, that's bulk ammo. And again, that was a 36 grain ammo. Now we're going to be trying some 40 grain. This ammo does shoot a little bit better, and we're going to see how it will print at 50 yards. All right, let me turn my side shot on here where you guys can see what I am doing. All right, 5-shot group. Okay, I got 4 in there in the bullseye, and I had 1 that shot a little bit low. Now let me reset one more time, give the rifle the best benefit of doubt. Let's shoot some Federal Gold Medal Ultra Match. I retrieved my target downrange. Now this is with the Federal Hunter Match. 4 shots, pretty good, and 1 low. Could it be me? Don't know. We'll have to look at the footage. But that's definitely minute of squirrel without a problem at 50 yards. Now I have loaded up here 5 more rounds of Federal Gold Medal Ultra Match. This is the cream of the crop in my opinion. And let's just put 5 shots downrange and see what kind of group we can get out of this. Ladies and gentlemen, that's a very, very good group. Now this rifle is not a match rifle, okay? I just want to see what different firearms are capable of doing when companies send them to me. And this rifle, you know, I say if you want to take it squirrel hunting out at 50 yards, 60 yards, it will do it without a problem. All right, let me go down there and retrieve that target, and let's have a little bit more fun with this setup. I retrieved my target downrange. Now, this is a 5-shot group at 50 yards with Federal Gold Medal Ultra Match. You shoot nice ammo, you get really good results. Now, again, this rifle is not marketed or supposed to be a match gun. It doesn't shoot like a match gun, but that's really not bad at all at 50 yards. Now, let's do a little bit of playing around. Now, I have a 3-inch plate downrange at 100 yards, and with this Hawk reticle system, you're supposed to be able to range, well, not range, but be able to have the correct hold on from 50 yards all the way to 200 yards using high velocity ammo. So if I did my math right, I should hold on the 3rd dot, you know, from the center. And actually it says 100 yards, but you're probably going to see something backwards because, like, again, the side shot does, you know, it's just a reflection of what I see. So let's see how many times I can hit it at 100 yards. Okay, be the 3rd one. Nailed it. That's pretty good. I think I only missed like 3 times. But again, that is a 3-inch plate at 100 yards. So that tells me it's definitely mitted a squirrel at 100 yards. My final thoughts on the Tippmann Arms M4-22. I kind of dig this setup. Now again, this setup is made for training purposes and just backyard plinking. It feels like a good quality rifle. Now there are a few things that I did not mention earlier in the video. One of those things about the flip-up sights. They are adjustable for windage and elevation. The rear sight here, you can adjust it for your windage, and the front sight, you can adjust it for your elevation. Another thing that you can do is change out the handguard. The front handguard right here can be changed and replaced with any mil-spec handguard. So if you have your favorite handguard that you like to use, you can go ahead and change it out on this setup. Another cool feature about this firearm are the magazines. I mentioned them a little bit earlier in the video, but I forgot to tell you this. There is a button right here on the side. You simply press that button, the magazine comes apart, locks into place. Now at this point you can take these tabs and pull down the follower and you can insert one round after another. These are 20 round mags. Once you're loaded up, you simply put it together, insert it into the firearm, and you're ready to shoot. Whether you're looking for a trainer rifle or just a backyard plinker, you may want to look into this Tippmann Arms M4-22. I've been really pleased with the function of this rifle. I have not had one single problem. The accuracy is pretty good considering that it is a trainer rifle. It is not a match rifle by no means. Now you're probably wondering yourself how much these things cost. Well, on their website, the MSRP on them are $599. Now real world price, you can probably pick them up for around $469. So, which is pretty good. You know, that's in the same ballpark as other trainer rifles. But I want to thank Tippmann Arms for sending me this setup and let me play around with it and shoot it and show you guys some of the really cool features on it. If you have any questions, you can go over to my Facebook page, Instagram, or Twitter, ask them there, or put them in the comments below. Until next time, y'all be safe and keep plinking.